I would just to Megan. I mean, here's the thing that is fascinating to me. If assume let's just assume for the sake of the discussion that RFK and Tulsi make it over the finish line this weekend. Is there anyone in the or is this to you guys? I'm fascinated by the movement behind them in the sense that so many strong, conservative, powerful people have gotten behind two, as of a year ago, longtime Democrats. Is there a scenario where you guys like sort of harness this? Is it two and done? Like, hey, they're over. Let's go relax now, or is it like let's figure out the next person or subset to get behind? Because I'm so fascinated by what's happened in particular with this group of women that is sort of become its own. I mean, I you can describe it, but obviously you guys all hang out together too. So whether it's a coalition or just a strong friendship. But is it once they're over the finish line, we kind of just will stay on our text chain, or do you guys harness this and say, hey, let's try to get some other people over?
For me or Michael or both?
For you, yeah, yeah.
Oh. I mean, actually, Michael, as you know, because I can remember talking to you offline during COVID, I was deeply radicalized during COVID. And it was a combination of how I was treated when I worked at ABC and was treated in my response to saying that defunding the police is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. My questions about the vaccine, I was pregnant during the time, and I turned into a Maha mom during that time. And me and all my girlfriends and all the people I know did too. And although, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, as I've said, my children are fully vaccinated in the normal round out. They do not have the COVID vaccine, and I'm not going to be giving it to them because I have a lot of questions about it. And even just saying that could have gotten me fired, and I think like led to my leaving. And so it was like the beginning of the groundwork. And through that, it was like we always joke it was like the French underground. Like I found other women and people who were feeling the way I did, and we were like coming together in this community, which led to Jessica Krause. Tulsi and I have been friends for like, I mean, like 8 years, like a really long time, but she was a huge support to me during that time as well. And I just found people that were listening and believing in me. And it turns out my rage was hundreds of millions of other people, not just women, I think men too, in the country. And I mean, I would vote for Tulsi for president easily. I would certainly consider voting for RFK if he decided to be pro-life. That's a big thing to me. I'm ready for radical change, just like everybody else. And people are always like fascinated by that because obviously I come from like a very establishment background, but that period of time I will never forget and never forgive what the government and the Democrats did to me and my family during that time. I will never ever forgive it, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life. And now how I vote, like locally, is extremely important to me as much as nationally. And it's turned me into this, like this political person that I thought I was the only one, but there's, like I said, hundreds of millions of us in that coalition. I'm 100% certain Tulsi and RFK are going to win this weekend. They better. I'm hosting a party for her, so she better get over. But
No, is the invite
I
coming by text or email? Just so I
Right,
keep it on
right,
the.
exactly.
you're gonna be the person of honor. But I just feel like, I'm so happy right now because I feel really heard and really seen, and the people like me feel heard and seen. And there's a really strong segment of millennial people and millennial moms. Every mom I know who was pregnant during COVID, like me, I mean, they feel the same way. And I'm really happy it's Republicans that, sorry, I'm filibustering, but
Yeah,
I'm really glad
that's
it's
all right. No, no.
Republicans that got them instead of Democrats.
Just to put a button on it, to go to Sean's question, does the movement that you all created sustain past their confirmations to other issues?
Yes. Never forget. And it's not just me. Like I'm like a baby part of this. This is like a huge, I would give Jessica like a lot more. She has, millions of followers and whatever,
Mhm.
but I will never, I will be 100 years old. I'll never forget ever what Democrats did to me and my family during COVID.